Hello, I'm Matt Broughton for Game On, and I'm delighted to be joined by Dave McDowell, the CEO at FSB. Dave, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Matt. It's a pleasure to be here.
From the outside, the last few months for FSB look to have been incredibly positive. You won the SBC Industry Innovation of the Year award. Then you personally were named in the 25 to watch for 2021 list in Global Gaming magazine. And you've made some new signings to your platform. How have the last 6 months gone for you?
The last 6 months have been absolutely fantastic. And I guess, if you look back just 12 months ago, the whole sports betting industry didn't know what was going on. We didn't have any security over our calendar of sports. And so to come out of that level of uncertainty with a couple of awards under our belt, we're going into this year with a full business development team focused on global opportunities, headed up by our new Chief Revenue Officer, Ian Freeman. We brought on Keith Laidlaw, who's a former CTO over at Entain, and he's a technology advisor for us, and business is absolutely booming.
And Scientific Games' decision to offload their sports betting business made headline news last week. You referenced it in a recent piece with SBC News where you talked about the burdens of legacy platforms. Can you tell us more of your thinking there, and do you think the Scientific Games decision makes sense?
Well, I don't want to pretend that I've sat in their boardroom and discussed it, but 3 years ago they said they needed to be number one in sports, and now they're getting out of sports. And I think, I've got a great respect for the business that OpenBet built up, but I think the reality is the roots of the technology go back to the 1990s. And I think business models and technology have moved on significantly, even over the last 5 to 7 years. And so if I look at the conversations we're having with potential partners, customers want a different business model. They want flexibility, and they want a supplier that's going to be a true strategic partner for them and working with them in an agile and very open and transparent way.
FSB are well known for their modern and flexible technology. Earlier this year, you migrated a multi-brand German iGaming group onto the platform in just 8 weeks. How was that possible? Can you take us through the process?
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of our team to do such a large migration in such a short amount of time. And I think the only way it was possible is because of the modularity of our technology. The front end team were able to take on one piece of the project, work with the customer about the customer, our operator to understand the customer experience. At the same time, our back end team were able to work with their regulatory requirements. And we had a third team in the business intelligence section, which were working on the data migration piece and trying to understand what data needed to be migrated and brought over. And I think if you've got flexible technology, you can break these larger projects down into bite-sized pieces. And I think that's really the trick of making the complex look fairly simple and when you actually execute it.
And what can we expect from you for the rest of 2021?
We've got a fantastic second half of the year coming up. We're going to have our first WLA client going live. We're looking forward to announcing that in a couple of months. We've got a tier one operator migrating onto our platform, and we're incredibly excited to be taking our first bets in the U.S. market. We've got systems that are being deployed there right now. So, what I'm really looking forward to is just trying to understand what new business development leads are going to be coming to us in the second half of the year, because the first half of the year has just been phenomenal.
Well, look, I really appreciate you taking us through that, and thanks again for your time today.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
I'm Matt Broughton for Game On.